This is Shane Hopkins from the From Scratch outlet, and today I will be interviewing my co-host, Jameson James. Say what's up to the people, man.
Hello, how you doing? It's your boy Jameson James. Damn, I'm still getting over a cough.
Oh, that's crazy. You came to work like this?
No, I was saying.
That's crazy. You know
My germs.
You know what your phone.
Yeah, hold on, my bad. I'm just texting. I just gotta send this text back.
Yeah,
I will be, if I don't respond, it's because I'm shooting my podcast.
but we're back with another another podcast. We will be interviewing each other. I'm gonna be going first. How you doing today, man?
What is this, a job interview?
I mean, I just want to check on my boy. You know, that's nothing wrong with that, right?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, why just okay?
I don't know. Honestly, bro, I've been getting over being sick this past weekend, bro. Honestly, I feel like everyone's been getting sick.
Yeah, it's that spring weather, that weather change, bro. That shit.
Is that really a thing?
I think so, in my opinion. And then a lot of people I remember you were sick in January for a minute. I think it was everybody, and now I seen somebody said they had bronchitis, and it was
all type of itis.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, let's get to the interview, man. You are known for having a lot of tattoos.
This is gonna start off the podcast right, or the interview right with that.
Yeah, why not? Tell everybody your first tattoo that you got.
What was my first tattoo? Oh, it was in high school. My first tattoo was right here on my arm.
Oh, no, don't take off the jacket. No, go ahead. Let the people see.
Naked.
Crazy.
I'm wearing my Batman shirt again that I wore like 4 podcasts ago.
Ladies, cover your eyes.
Nah, this was my first tattoo. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I still remember going to get that. This whole piece was my first tattoo. Do you remember when I got it?
I do. He was walking around school like this. It's nothing.
That shit hurt. That was crazy, bro. But it really meant a lot to me, and I really liked it. Honestly, I wanted to get tatted at 14. I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Oh, you're crazy for that.
My dad was kind of down to let me, but my mom didn't want me to.
Yeah, that's way too early. But
yeah.
That segues into my next question. What's your most painful tattoo?
Dude, they all suck.
I mean, there has to be one where it was like, all right, bro, like never again. Like I wouldn't want to go through that.
Oh, I would say, and I'm probably glad I don't have to go through it again, is the back of my neck where I have the words, life is rhythm. Oh, that sucks so bad. It just, honestly, probably the back of my neck was the most painful. And I hate people who say the tattoos don't hurt. Yes, they do. Because the people who be saying tattoos don't hurt, they got just little sayings on them. Breathe, escape, Trinity. Like, what? Okay, maybe it doesn't hurt some people, but when I've talked to some people and they're like, oh, tattoos don't hurt, and I see them, they just got little stamp tattoos, I'm like, well, of course that shit doesn't hurt. Yeah. That shit feels like a scratch.
I remember when you first got the neck tattoo, I was like, bro, are you crazy? Like, I would never, in my opinion. That's just me, but...
When I got Vera?
That's crazy. Which one's your favorite?
Honestly, Vera.
See, I'm already knowing because I remember you first got that one.
Oh, look. That's my girl.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You got blasted on the neck.
Dude, that was crazy. Yo, pause. Whoa. I didn't get blasted nowhere, all right? That's right, Dodger? That shit was insane to say.
Oh, my God.
On my neck. That shit was crazy, dude. Like,
that's crazy.
I remember it took me like 2 months to figure out what I wanted because I knew I wanted a neck tattoo. And I was like, damn, what do I want? I'm like, ooh, I think I came up with it actually like 3 days before.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I told the artist, I'm like, bro, by Frankie Fingers. And Bogus tattooed the back of my neck. Frankie Fingers did my hand and my neck. But besides that, when I told him like 3 days before, I'm like, hey, I want to get a girl's face. And so like we came up with the one like right there on the spot. We found it online. And girls are always asking me, they're like, who is that? I'm like, it's Vera.
I mean, I would think it was somebody you knew. Like, hey, do you know? No.
I mean, she's always watching me. She's always or not me, but she's always watching, looking out for me.
Looking out for you.
I actually wrote a song about this tattoo. I've never released it,
That's
but
dope.
it's called Vera. Yeah, no, it's one of my most favorite tattoos because like it's just fun and honestly I always get a lot of compliments on it. I really feel like it's just like a good conversation starter.
Yeah, I
This
feel like
tattoo.
tattoos are always a good conversation starter,
Yeah.
to be honest. But this interview is going so perfectly. You took off your jacket, you got a Batman shirt on, and I swear to God, this is my second question. What made you get into Batman?
Dude, honestly, okay. So a lot of people's introduction to Batman was the Christian Bale films, but not me because when we were little, I had the VHS films, and so I used to sit and watch like Batman 1989 with Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, and the second one with Michael Keaton, and then the third one with Val Kilmer, the Joker one. I never saw that whack ass George Clooney one. I don't. This fool loves that one.
Hey, with Mr. Freeze, Arnold, come on. Oh, and Uma Thurman, Poison Ivy, crazy.
Yeah, she was bad.
Go ahead.
But nah, so like those were the first ones that I would watch. You know what I'm saying? And just like when I was little, like I just always loved Batman, bro. Like it was just there was just something about him that like I was just drawn to. Like my mom said that didn't take off my costume for a whole like month. I would go to sleep in it.
What age was that?
Like 5.
5. That's early. Okay.
4 or 5. And then as I got older, like I started getting into different things. Like, but I always liked him. But the craze really came back probably around like 2019 when I was like 23.
Right.
When or actually it was 2020, like late 2019 before the pandemic.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And because there was like a lot of time, like everything was shut down, so I just started watching the cartoons. I started getting into cartoons a lot.
Yeah.
And I started like loving the beauty of like anime and just 1990s cartoons and every single type of cartoon you can imagine. I just started loving it, and just Batman the animated series was just my favorite one. Like I just loved. I'm a nerd. Like the way I can go into that'd be a whole other episode. But I just love the animation style of Batman the animated series and just what it made me felt. And not to like go on to another topic, but I feel like the reason why I got into cartoons a lot was because I started going through this one like I was sort of like losing myself, like forgetting who I was as a person. And like when I was dating like girls and stuff like that, it made me like lose like that kid in me. You know what I'm saying? That I felt like I always had. And like dating certain type of girls, like I lost that. And so when I was like taking time for myself and learning to be single and learning to heal, I started, understanding like what my true happiness was and what a female's gonna like accept of me. And I'm like, you know what? This is okay to be a kid, like to feel like and like what you fucking like and just be yourself, and they don't have to look at you no less, than a man. Like if you're into shit like this, because I remember, bro, that was like one of the like. I remember one of my exes told me that. She was like, you're sort of like a nerd. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and that shit just like, the way I took it was like, you're calling me a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I took it. And like,
It's crazy.
I mean, but her actions like, showed that, like how she treated me and how I allowed myself to be treated. Like, yeah, like, I was acting like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the shit that I allowed. Like, no man should ever allow, someone to treat them like that. But, I was young and dumb, and we've all went through it. And, like I always tell people, don't ever be afraid to tell your past, because if that's not who you are anymore, you don't got nothing to worry about. Don't ever be afraid to open up, Yeah. But yeah, that's what started the whole Batman craze again for me, and just I've just gotten into it like just heavily, and I just still love it. For me, it's just my therapy, bro. Like just watching like Batman the animated series, honestly.
Okay, yeah. One thing I will say about the animated series is like the graphics. That whole WB network during that time was like amazing with like Static Shock. The Batman animated
they had
series.
a run.
They had a run, bro, and Batman was a part of that. One thing I'll say is the graphics were amazing. But yeah, love that.
Yeah, it was different for its time, because the one thing about that show is that they wanted to figure out how they could make it like dark but still make it like appeal to kids and shit like that. So rather than starting on like a white a white background, they used a black background and they would draw the colors in. So that's what gave it like that dark aesthetic and like that just made it so pleasing. They called it a dark deco. You know what I'm saying? So it was like an art style that they came up with, and that was like the unique thing that about that show. And as someone who's a creative, like I pay attention to shit like that. Like I always lock in and pay attention to like the details and stuff, so I could like appreciate stuff like that.
Okay.
So
dope.
yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah. So a lot of people do know you as an artist. We need to know your top 3 artists of all time, dead or alive.
Top 3 artists of all time. I'm gonna go Chris Brown. Chris Brown is probably the reason why I do music. Or no, he is the reason why I do music. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just we were just talking about it. Like, I used to pretend to be Chris Brown, bro, walking home from school in the 6th grade. Literally. You know,
He's going to that meet and greet, yo.
I'm going. Hey, yo, pause.
Hold up. Because tell me why I picture little Jameson fucking walking home, you two fools walking home from school, and him dancing around. I know you want a name, but excuse me, miss. I see you from across the room.
No, this was after. This was his second album. So I started listening to him like in 5th grade, but when his second album came out, that's when I started like really like, you know, being a crazy fan. Like with you, that shit. I used to walk home like pretending to be in music videos and shit like that, and like dancing and, you know, shit like that. And then I remember one girl was like, "Oh, we saw you talking to yourself when you were walking home." Like, no, I was singing.
I'm not talking to myself.
But no, back to top 3 artists. I would say Chris Brown.
One.
I would really say Tupac.
Oh.
Tupac
okay.
number 2.
Sounds about right. Okay.
Yeah. And then 3, I don't know, like, cause for me, music's always like, there's so many different eras and genres and stuff like that. Like I could say Marvin Gaye, I could say Stevie Wonder, I could say like, you know what I'm saying? Like just all different artists from like just different generations. I could say August Alsina, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's just, I don't know. I feel like I just always have a favorite artist at a different point in time, you know? If I would have to say a third one, I would probably either have to say, it would go between either these 3 actually, Party Next Door, Tory Lanez, or Bryson Tiller.
Why?
I just feel like what they did for R&B, you know what I'm saying, is just like, they totally gave it a new feel, a new like, just a new sound, just a new texture of what we perceive as R&B. You know what I'm saying? But I would I would even go a step ahead and say the grandfather of all those is Nate Dogg. Because Nate Dogg was different. He wasn't your traditional R&B singer, bro. Like I feel like he started what a lot of like Young Thug and, you know, just, you know, the topics wise and the cadence wise and the melodies wise. Like I feel like Nate Dogg should be getting more flowers and recognized for what he contributed to music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for Nate Dogg, I feel like there wouldn't be like melodic type rapping. You know what I'm saying? Just for what he was doing on records. You know, he just had that, you know?
Yeah. So let's slide Nate Dogg into that third slot, because I feel like he is one of your favorite artists, because you're like the only person I know that bumped like his album Music and Me, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Hard.
yeah. Like nobody, I don't think has ever played that around me, and I'm like, like I didn't even know he had his own albums, which is crazy.
I don't think they were giving him his own albums till like 2001. Like that's the thing. I think he was just doing hook shit for Pac and all of Death Row.
Bro.
Is it safe to say that what's his name, Nate Dogg crawled so Ja Rule could run?
Nah, I just feel like you could say Tupac crawled so fucking Ja Rule could run. Because at a point in time, that was an argument.
That's crazy.
That was an argument.
That is kind of crazy. I mean, no.
No, because they were saying, because even DMX was saying, remember on that? Oh,
you're right. But
it's like, who do you want to be? Either DMX or you want to be Tupac? You know what I'm saying? It's like that was the argument. Like, does Ja Rule want to be them two? You know what I'm saying? And so, like, because you know, Ja Rule had the raspy, like, what's love? Like, he had that, you know. And I don't know. I just felt like maybe Tupac was kind of responsible for, you know, that Ja Rule influence.
okay. So Breezy, Tupac. Let's do Nate Dogg for number 3.
Yeah. We could definitely say that. Yeah, Nate Dogg is definitely a legend in this shit, bro. Like,
All right.
and it saddens me, bro, because you just think about he died in 2010 or 2011. Was it 2010 or 2011?
One of those.
Nate Dogg. Either 2010 or 2011. And this is right when the West Coast was having a resurgence again, bro. Just think about if Nate Dogg and DJ Mustard and YG, all the shit that he would have been on, dude. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Nate Dogg wouldn't have had, or that he would have had a resurgence again, bro. He would have sounded so good on every single West Coast record. Like, imagine hearing him Sprung on This, and like with T-Fly, and just even with T-Fly, like, that shit hurts my heart, dude, because him and Nipsey. Imagine if him and Nip, like, that, and I think for that reason, I think that's why he slides in my top 3.
Okay,
you know, because just knowing what he could have done again.
Yeah, no, that's a great 3. I'm not gonna hold you. We've been to a lot of concerts, man. What's your favorite one that not we've been to, but you've been to ever? Number 1.
Damn, what's the number 1? Remember, we went to Chris Brown,
Trey Songz. That shit was crazy.
That one was low key pretty good. That was the Fan of the Fan.
Yeah, that one, because there was a lot of girls there, of course, but
The one was my old boss and my coworker.
Right,
Remember that shit?
I remember that.
She fired me too. Oh no, actually I quit.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But they brought out so many people. Like, it was just a great performance, man. Like, overall, yeah, that was a great concert.
That shit was lit. Do I have a favorite one? Because I just like, I don't know. It's so hard for me to say if some things are like my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we went to the R&B festival. That shit was lit too.
Yeah.
You know, we went to Tory Lanez. We saw Bryson Tiller. He brought out Chris Brown.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly, if I might have to say, I think it either is a toss up between Bryson Tiller and Tory Lanez, because those shits were intimate, bro.
The first time we seen Bryson?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw him twice.
Yeah.
Hey, stupid ass expensive prices for the second time we saw Bryson Tiller, bro. We spent like what, $80 to sit all the way in the back of the YouTube theater? What?
So y'all be going on mandates like that?
That's crazy, bro.
I got content. All right.
Hey yo, you didn't get no content. Hey, bro.
I got content.
Hey, pause.
I got content from the fans. Don't do that, bro.
You gotta be careful. I got
So y'all be filming content.
Let's do Shane, bro.
That's crazy.
Nah, but like, hey, you talked me into that concert too. I was like, bro, like I low-key don't want to go, bro. You're like, hey, if I see the tickets for 76, I'm like, I felt like a hoe, bro. Like, this will talk me into a date.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. But hey, that was a good concert. But
It was.
nah, the first Tiller concert we saw at the Observatory.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was a dope concert.
still got videos
And then
from that day.
Tory Lanez, yeah, I know y'all hate him, whatever, but he put on a great performance. Brought out Snoop, T-Pain, Breezy, Daddy Lay. What's that dude's name? I forgot. Plug Talk.
Oh, Rich the Kid?
Rich the Kid.
Yeah.
Like, he brought out so many people, had hits. That's when he put out that one tape.
Oh, Chicks Tape.
Chicks tape.
Yeah, Chicks Tape 5. Best one.
Slaps.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall that was a great concert.
Honestly, the Chris Brown concert we went to too, they had Tyga. Tyga opened up, and it was a Trey Songz and Chris Brown concert.
a little battle and shit. Like,
What was dope about that one though is that they brought out Ty Dolla, they brought out Big Sean. I think Snoop and Nicki Minaj came out.
Nicki came out.
Yeah, Nicki came out, huh?
Yes.
Damn.
That-
And Ty Dolla $ign, right?
Bro, it was a lot of people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think I had my phone that night, or I didn't have an iPhone. I don't know what it was, but
You had
don't
an
have-
Android, huh?
I had no proof I was there. It was bad, but nah, that was one hell of a concert, man.
Yeah.
If someone had never heard of Chris Brown before, right? What would be the song you would play for them to get them to like
Oh, like this is the dude. You need to listen to this.
yeah,
dude.
like for them to be like, oh, this is Breezy? Like, I never heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first song you're playing?
Damn. It's either because then like, damn, do you want to play his old shit or his
You could go anywhere from Run It all the way to Residuals. Like,
It's so
You
bro,
know what I
you
mean?
can't do that.
just one. It doesn't even have to be his best song, but just one where it's like, I got a couple, but
I would either have to say, what's the one Now I gotta look up the.
Oh no.
Is it on the Fame album?
Wet the bed?
Bro, Wet the Bed is is Grammy nominated. I don't know. Because he even has one with Justin Bieber that's hard too.
Right.
Oh.
I'm going with Excuse Me, Miss. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the
Either
one.
that one or
Poppin'. That'll be mine too,
but Young Love wasn't a hit though too.
it does not matter, bro. That's still a slap, in my opinion. That's one of those that I didn't even know was on the album.
I showed you that one, huh?
Yeah, I heard that later. I was like, what the fuck? You know, like, that's crazy.
Cause see, I always like the songs that aren't the hits. So it's like Chris Brown has this song called "Should Have Kissed You" on the Fame album. He has he always has those sleeper songs that no one talks about. So it's like I would want to introduce him to those ones, but then I want to show you like, oh, there's a reason why he's next in line to Mike Jack.
Right.
You know, so
Exactly.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't answer that one.
I feel you. That's just the one I thought of where I was like, Breezy I already knew was your favorite artist. So it was like, damn, who knows? But
yeah.
Next question. What we got? Celebrity crushes over the years.
They have changed.
I want to hear as far as back you can remember.
Fuck, man. I don't know if I should say this. My mom. When my body was going through changes, my mom had a Mariah Carey album. And I used to look at it all the time.
That's when Mariah was.
Bro, and I would just look at it and be like,
wait, was that the Emancipation?
Nah, I think it was, I don't know. There was one on the album where she was wearing a wet t-shirt and stuff like that. And I was just like,
that's crazy.
I would just look at it all the time. I think I was like in 6th grade, 5th grade.
The look that Shane just gave you as soon as you mentioned, oh, it was the wet t-shirt album. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Hey, we all know.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dude, so many like crushes over the years, bro. I would even say like Ariana Grande to Carucci. Remember when Demi Lovato was my girl?
I remember that. That was like, huh? Disney Channel? What?
Ariana Celeste.
I forgot about her.
Yeah, you can't forget about the sleeper.
She.
Remember, was Julia Kelly? Or no, the other one. Not Julia Kelly. I think that's a porn star. No, Julia Kelly, the one on Vine.
Yeah. I heard you talking about it.
Yeah, she was bad too. Who else? And then to now, honestly, my celebrity crush right now is either between her and Mariah the Scientist.
This nigga did not just say her.
Yeah.
Interview's over, bro.
Well, oh, that's yours? She's yours? She's so bad. She's so beautiful.
That's my number one. It was before Chloe Bailey, but she's got it. She's absolutely.
Hey, you know what? You always have the same celebrity crushes as me, dude.
What did you just say?
Yeah. You like my women.
Now you're just potting. Yeah. Relax. But my bad. Her and who?
And Mariah the Scientist.
Mariah. Mariah.
She is so bad. Like
pretty.
That's my type for real. I remember you told me like you posted that and you're like, bro, this is doing too much.
What happened to Elsie?
I love Elsie, but she's playing.
You had her tattooed, right?
I know.
And you wrote a song. And
I know. No, honestly, yeah. How could I forget about Elsie?
Elsie. Okay.
Elsie is. Elsie's Elsie, bro. But, that's like we were talking about like celebrity. I'm thinking of like singers and shit like that. But Elsie, that's my.
That's your type.
Elsie's beautiful.
She is. You named a lot of them. Carucci, that was one too.
Carucci. Yeah.
Come on, but back to what you said. You said your mom was probably looking at you weird because of Mariah. Mother's Day is next month.
Yeah.
Give me 3 reasons you're grateful for your mom.
Oh man, I'm gonna start crying.
Oh gosh. Here we go.
Without saying anything, my mom is a fighter, and so if you know my mother, and you know, if you know, so she's a fighter. And one reason why I'm grateful for her is, she always showed me first what genuine love is. You know what I'm saying? And what it means to love somebody. Let's just be real. Sometimes you get into it with your mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the perfect son. I've never been the perfect son. And, for someone to show me, still genuine, what's the unconditional love?
Right.
It's like, yeah, why wouldn't I look like that's what I look for, like in a woman too. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm not having a good day, you know what I'm saying? Even though I try not to, like, I don't really have a lot of bad days. I don't believe in it. But it's like when I just have my moments and stuff like that, and you're still able to like never let me go without, going to bed mad and stuff like that. And like that's what I'm grateful for is unconditional love and knowing what that is. Because I use that when I'm dating people. You know what I'm saying? I never let no one go to bed mad, or I never like, if we're not on speaking terms like that night, like, I'm always going to try and make it right. So that's one of the things I'm grateful for.
Okay.
Another thing I'm grateful for is, I think, showing, me and my brothers, like, just, I don't know, like, it's so hard to say. She showed us so much. Like, she showed us work ethic. She showed us, like, the importance of, I mean, yeah, she's had a sad story too, but she's never let that affect her, her, of what she needed to do to provide for us. She's always like, always stressing to us about like saving your money for a rainy day, always making sure that, you have enough, always, the importance of like, just having some money in your pocket and, I'm not going to be around, for too long, and just always stressing that, just of independence, And I would say the third thing that I'm grateful for is music. I'm grateful for both of my parents for showing me music. Yeah. But, since we're talking about my mom, I'm grateful for her for showing me, all this tons of great music, bro. Like, without her, I don't think I would have a love for music, the way, she's, explained it and loved it herself. She has a lot of original albums and, just all different types of tastes in music. And so, yeah, this is one of the things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for her just, being a good person and,
Yeah, love that, bro. Shout out to my mom too.
Yeah, like I a lot of people will say like, oh, you're a mama's boy and stuff like that. I'm like, you damn fucking right I am. Like, because you don't know what we've been through.
Yeah.
You don't know what me and my mom been through. Like, what me and my brothers have been through with her. And, I always say this, like a mom will always be a boy's first love.
Right.
And so you just got to understand that. And ladies, I'm going to tell you one thing too. How a man treats his mom is how he's going to treat you. So pay attention to that.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's true. No, that was
But
good.
yeah, I love you, Anna.
Anna's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disrespectful.
So, what would 29-year-old James tell 19-year-old James?
I would tell him that
We're getting all serious.
I know.
Shit. I'm sorry.
I would tell him that it's okay to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You don't have to pretend to be someone who you think you need to be for, for other people. It's okay to not have it figured out at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to, be vulnerable with yourself. It's okay to, just, I don't know, just, yeah, I would just tell him those, things and stuff like that. And, but get off your ass, start thinking about what the fuck what it is that you want right now.
Yeah.
And shit like that. So, yeah.
Okay. If you weren't an artist, a singer, what would you want to do?
Definitely. Shit, there's a lot of things, bro. Astronaut. Fucking NBA player.
Of course, yeah.
Baseball player, football player. I don't know, bro. I would definitely. I'd always want to. I'd want to do something in entertainment. I remember, like, I forgot who I was talking to, but someone asked me, like, I forgot what we were talking about. But I remember when I was little, I remember kids would like say, like, oh, I want to be a teacher or a paramedic, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you don't want to be famous? Like, you fucking idiot. Like, how the fuck don't you want to be famous? Like, I knew I just always wanted to be famous and be on TV and like, just I don't know, make people laugh or some shit.
I feel it.
Yeah.
That's cool. What's one thing? This is a 2-part question. What's one thing people get misconstrued about you, and what's one thing people don't know about you that you want them to know?
One thing that people always get misconstrued about me is that they think I'm a gang member. Hey, Don,
Look like one.
and then when they start talking about me, when they start talking to me, they're like, "Oh, what the hell? This was cool as hell!" Like they start hearing my voice, they're like, "What the heck?" Like, Dick, I just like tattoos. Like I can't help it.
Fool, you look like you lived my life.
Oh shit,
crazy.
right? Like I don't know, like especially like girls too, like some of them will think I'm like toxic and shit like that, and I'm like I don't get why. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You're not a little bit toxic.
no.
You're lying before.
Okay, all right, here's the thing. Right? When I was younger, like 22, 23, I used to pretend to want to be toxic. Like, remember when I used to post about baby mamas and all of this shit and fucking like always have like okay, I'm gonna be real. Broken heart, but I'm gonna say it right now. Broken hearts break hearts was a lie. All right, that was a lie. It really was. I'm just being honest. You know, that's what I would tell my 19-year-old self too. I wasn't doing any of that shit on the album. You know what I'm saying? That's why that music sucked. I'm saying that right now. That's why some of those songs sucked on there. Because, you know, when you're not making honest music, and this is serious, when you're not making honest music, it's reflective in how, you know, how your melodies are and how you write songs and you're sitting there trying to think of something. You know, I was just trying to be somebody who I wasn't, and that's not who I was. You know, I wasn't no toxic dude. Like, I'm a loving dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy everything that comes along with fucking commitment and all that other shit. And, you know, just, it was a lie. I don't know how we got to that point.
I don't know how either. But the second part of that was what's one thing you want people that. What's one thing people don't know about you that you want them to know?
Oh, so how we got to that was what people misconstrue. Okay, so I started getting that. What's one thing people
don't know about you that you would like them to know? I don't know if you put it all out there already, or if there's something. I don't know.
What's one thing? I don't know.
Don't think too hard.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty honest and open. I think everybody knows everything about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always posting about cartoons or fucking like Batman or, you know, some shit that I'm doing, like some creative shit with my hats or, you know, what I'm buying, you know, sneakers or, you know, posting about my truck or some shit like that. Like, I just feel like I'm very open as well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm an open book as well too, you know? So.
Okay, well.
Oh, maybe one thing is I need women to stop thinking that I'm short. Like, bro, women always tell me that, dude. Like, I hung out with some girl like this weekend and well, not some girl, she's cool as hell. I hung out with her, bro, like, and she was like, oh, like the whole way, like on the way over, I was just hoping that you weren't my height, because she's like 5'1" or like 5'2". She's like, I was just hoping you weren't close to my height, like 5'4" or something. And then when you got out your truck, I was like, oh yes. I was like, bro, and girls have told me that. They've told me like, oh, you look shorter in your pictures. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm 5'10".
Do you give off short king energy?
I guess.
You don't give off short king energy.
Do I?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, dig. Like, I'm basically your height, huh?
Stop.
I could dunk on you.
And I'm done with my questions. Wasn't too bad, right?
No, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah. What do you think of the questions?
That was good. It was good. Those are very good questions.
All right, cool. Well, there we go. There you have it. That concludes this interview. My name is Shane, aka Hip Hopkins. I'm here with the boy Jameson James. We appreciate you for being on the From Scratch outlet, man. We appreciate you.